Okay, Joe Diomede here, speaking to Richie Conte, fellow New York City boy from Brooklyn, moved up to the lovely Green Hills of Vermont to give his kids a bit of a better life and give himself a better life. And he was a DJ in a very cool time in New York City. I'll let Richie explain a bit more. So, Rich, tell me, what were you doing in New York City in the 70s, man?
I was a kid growing up. I just graduated high school, and it was 1972. Went to this club in Bay Ridge where it was so different from every other club and how everybody else was dressed. In the day, it was ripped dungarees and tie-dye shirts, and now it was pleated pants for the guys, platform shoes, nice shirts. The girls had button earrings. They had these dresses out of the 40s. And it was this, you walk into this club, everybody's dressed like that, and the music was this funk, soul, and R&B music. And they were partner dancing to half of it, and half of it they were free dancing to. Totally radical change from what was going on in the 60s. But the common denominator was the message. There was still an undertone of peace, love, unity in 75% of the music.
Right. Right. Okay. And so now you were talking about how the music changed over the years, and you saw it change into what?
Well, that scene, that quote unquote club scene, underground dance club scene, eventually morphed into the disco scene. And as it changed, it got more popular, and it became not so underground anymore. After, I'd say, maybe 75, it started getting airplay. Once the music started getting airplay, it was the beginning of the commercialization of it. But it was, the music changed where, as it got commercialized, more people jumped in to make music. So to keep the pure message, depending on the DJ, you had to do more digging and work and listening to call the music you want to play without playing the stuff that was more plasticky and shallow.
Right, right. And so now, we were speaking yesterday, come in a little closer in case you're off camera there. And so now, as we were speaking yesterday, you were saying you have a little project in mind. Years later, you have a little time on your hands now. You're retired up here in Vermont, getting back to the music. What's your idea on that? What are you going to do with the music?
Well, I reconnected with a lot of DJ friends from that era, and we've created, one guy, Luis Mario, created the Legends of Vinyl, where he's contacting all the first-tier DJs from that era, and he's actually put them into the Library of Congress. And then he's collecting the people that were the second tier of DJs, the second wave. And we've created this brotherhood, where back in those days, we were sort of in competition with each other, and we were working at night. So we had a few friends that were DJs, and we all knew about each other, but there was no time to really hang out with each other and bond, except on weekends, where once record pools started. Record pools was this phenomenon of, once this music scene started getting popular, the record companies realized that it was a market. But before they realized that, we would go to record stores to buy our music. And we would go to this special place in New York City on Broadway and 47th Street, Colony Records. And they would get all this funk and soul music, and we would congregate there and listen on Sunday afternoons. And then this guy, David Mancuso, who owned an underground after-hours club in Soho, The Loft, he volunteered his place where we could meet, and we could have the record companies ship records there for us. And we built our own bins there, and it was the first record pool in the United States. It was the record pool. Wow. And that's where we hung out on Sundays then. And we would go, and David would put the sound system on, and we would listen to all the new music that came in for the week.
And so you're going to do that now? What are you going to do now?
Well, now I want to help try to rewrite the history a little bit through my peers, my DJ peers. There's a book in the works possibly, and there's a major compilation of the early music. There's some scattered around. There's some books on the era, but My slant on it is that the movie Saturday Night Fever distorted what the scene was really about, and it dumbed it down, and it cheapened it.
Right.
So I think we deserve to have the history correct. You know, it was close. It looked close to what it was, but it missed the mark.
You're talking about the club scene, not the disco scene. You think the disco scene made the club scene look silly? Is that?
Well, the club scene morphed into the disco scene, and right at that transition point was Saturday Night Fever. And the message in Saturday Night Fever wasn't really exactly what was happening in the clubs. It was more on a superficial level. You know, they missed the point of like the real socially conscious message that music had. And it wasn't because it was hip or cool. It's just what it was. Like, you know, we were dancing to Marvin Gaye, Mercy, Mercy Me, and What's Going On, and Jimmy Castor, It's Just Begun. The first album from Earth, Wind and Fire, the song Moment of Truth, Come On Children, the song Peace Pipe. Listen to the lyrics of these songs. They're about universal love, unity, peace, that you can dance to. But nobody said, hey, you know, we're promoting peace. It was just woven into the fabric of the scene. And that's what was missed. And so the world, when you go outside of New York City, the world viewed this club/disco scene as this plastic, superficial, crappy entertainment medium, which in reality it wasn't. But as time went on and it got really commercial, everybody and their brother wanted to make a disco record because they were selling. And what came out was, there was a lot of garbage that came out, mixed in with a lot of good. And every bar in every neighborhood was a disco now. So no one could control what these people played in them, you know? So the kind of the peace, love, and socially conscious message kind of got diluted and kind of went by the wayside. So in our dealings, we meet, we talk a lot, all the DJs. So I want to create this conversation. I started already, and there's already some resonance to the conversation, and get that conversation going and see where we could go with rewriting or retelling the story more accurately.
Right, okay, yeah. So the peace love theme wasn't only, you know, it wasn't that R&B stuff. You know, everyone equates that with the '60s and you know, that whole Woodstock scene, but it was prevalent of that era, and you wanted to bring that back into the words and the music that people listen to today. Okay, well, thank you, Rich. Thank you very much. Speaking with the hills of Vermont, Mount Snow, Vermont behind us, this is Joe Diomede, Telemann Braun saying thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.